What's up and welcome, wannabe life masters. This is my first ever video and I'm kicking off a two-parter explaining what machine learning is and how to use stable diffusion to make enemies and influence people. So I'm a cloud engineer in normal life, not a data scientist. If you want a technical understanding of how machine learning works, there are millions of videos and gallons of text to consume about the topic. I'm just going to give you a very broad conceptual overview, basically just enough information for you to get in trouble with the European election laws. So with that in mind, let's start with what the hell even is machine learning. Machine learning is exactly like pachinko. Actually, I don't know what pachinko is. I assume that's what Plinketto is based on, but now that I say it out loud, they don't even sound the same. Whatever. Machine learning is exactly like Plinketto. You drop a ball, it bounces off the pegs and lands at a pit of misfortune. You can think of where you drop the ball as the data that's being fed into the machine, the pegs as semi-random changes made to the ball's path, and the pit of misfortune is the Lovecraftian horror that ultimately results from an improperly tuned stable diffusion model. We call these things features, layers, and output respectively. Changing where you drop the ball changes the path the ball takes and where the ball eventually lands. In an image generator, the ball's position is the text prompt you feed it. The prompt gets ingested, chopped up, and sent their crazy maze of numbers until something that's usually horrible pops out the other end. It's similar to the way electricity passes from neuron to neuron in your brain, except of course when we imagine a giant old woman in a walker terrorizing downtown Sydney, it stays on the inside where it belongs. But there's a problem. In a perfectly controlled environment where we have perfect knowledge of how the ball is dropped, it should go in the same direction every time. This is actually very similar to how cognition works in the brains of lower life forms like nematodes and people on Twitter. So how then do we get a completely unique wide-awake nightmare every time someone hits refresh? Well, if we were to strain this already terribly strained analogy a little bit more, try to imagine our Plinketto board has magic pins that increase and decrease in size based on random numbers. The amount of information required to predict the ball's path would be astronomical. From the machine's perspective, the size of the pins are called weights and represent the meat of the model. Tweaking the weights tells the model whether it should generate a picture of Basenji, write a blog post, or figure out the best way to kill the last of the whales, thereby setting off a chain reaction within the global ecosystem, ultimately culminating in a complete food web collapse, thereby driving down the cost of minerals across the globe as countries scramble to get food, allowing someone such as myself to get my hands on those precious, precious Glavnik diamonds rumored to be secured somewhere in the heart of Istanbul. Once mine, I'll be able to use them to unlock the ancient pharaonic tomb of Kefir the Mighty, granting me control over the forces of the 12 underrealms. Then we'll finally see who has power over whom, Mom. So yeah, be careful, I guess, with what you do with machine learning. Anyway, next video we'll go over how to download and run Stable Diffusion so you can totally not generate your own nightmare porn. Have fun, Life Masters.